Please be advised the following program is rated E for education. It is not intended for the faint at heart. Reviewing this program may cause towers to become smarter, safer, and more profitable than ever before. All opinions expressed are of John Borowski, a.k.a. Mr. Industry. Viewer discretion is definitely advised.
Hello, I'm John Borowski, and you're on the hook. In this episode, we're going to be answering some viewers' questions. Well, hello. Glad to be back. Here we are in the month of April. Spring is here. Wow, came fast. So we have a couple of questions that came in, and I'd like to address those today. Let's see. First off, we have Scott from Indiana. And he says, I would like to see something on common sense towing. I guess, wouldn't we all? Towing is rather, he says, tow it like you own it. Understand when to use J-hooks and when not to. No tie rod ends. Please use skates to offload vehicles on a carrier. A $150 tow is not worth a $1,000 repair bill. Well, Scott, I can't agree enough, and if you're asking about using J-hooks when you should, I'm very surprised they're still being used. I thought we parted ways with J-hooks a long time ago. That's why we have the special tie-down points, and we have all these different fasteners now that we use on the trucks, and I hope that we're using 4-point tie-downs. That's what we should be doing. And to take vehicles off of a carrier with the wheels locked up because you don't have the keys or whatever the case may be, but to get it off without having to shake the daylights out of that bed, which is not recommended by any manufacturer, nor is it any good for that truck because it just beats the daylights out of it. They have skates. They've been around a long time. They're relatively cheap. You bang it underneath the wheel, and as you tilt the bed, it's going to slide right down to the ground. Why are you beating the daylights out of your truck? Believe me when I tell you, you're not saving any time. You're just beating up the truck, and quite honestly, you're looking quite foolish out there like you don't know what you're doing. And then if it starts going on its own and you can't control it, then what? Come screaming off the bed and roll into something. If those front wheels aren't straight, the thing will come off cockeyed and hit something. Look, you guys, this excuse of I'm in a hurry or I got to get to the next tow, whatever the case may be, not doing it right is not doing it quicker, it's doing it wrong and possibly damage to be happening in that incident. You're not saving any time, believe me when I tell you. I've been doing this for a long time and I fully understand. Believe me, I was there until these different products came out. I mean, I used to have I used to use a liquid soap on the deck before skates came out and put it behind the wheels to get it to come down. Or I would have to put a snatch block on the end of the bed and winch it off. Go down and swing back with your line and pull it down. It's that simple. I mean, it's just damaging the daylights out of the equipment. And when people on the outside see it, again, they start thinking their theory about the towing is full of bunch of crackpots and guys that don't know what they're doing. Well, I guess that gives them a little bit of support. That's not something we should be doing. Please, let's stop doing that. Now for another question that we have, and this here is a little bit different. I kind of knew that when I was doing the undertaking of saying, hey, I'm going to take and do questions on the show, send me a question, I'll answer it, that there would be some controversy. But you know what? This is a long time coming and it needs to happen. So from Tommy in Texas, he's saying that in states that have more than one tow association, they fight each other. They argue with each other over issues. And I don't mean fight. I mean they disagree in a sense that they have different places on issues. And let me finish this question. They slight each other brother associations. We need to look at what damage this does. A classic case of alpha male posturing that's extremely damaging. So what we're talking about here is that when there are several states in this country that have multiple organizations, 2 or more. And when they do, I think we all understand what's going on there. There's a disagreement between the players involved, the officers, and some of the membership may not like them. I don't know exactly the situation on every one of them. I do know some of it, but in any event, here's the way I see it. When you have two associations in the same state taking two totally different stands on an issue or a bill, and they're up there arguing either for it or against it, and the person listening to both sides of this is going, what is going on? It's supposed to be the same industry looking at the same problems and trying to fix it properly. Why are they at odds with each other? It shouldn't be happening. Well, here is what is happening down there, and I'm going to read it to show you that I know exactly. I'm not going to mess up on this. So there's a bill down there. There's a House bill called 3478 that will allow motor carriers to require towing companies to participate in mediation on any heavy-duty towing bill, recovery bill that is more than $20,000. Now, the mediation could cost up to $750 per half-day mediation and up to $1,500 for a full day per party. So with two parties, it could total $1,500 to $3,000. The mediator could be any person who has taken a 40-hour mediation course and is approved by TDLR. The focus on the mediation would be to evaluate whether the amount charged by the towing company is excessive. The mediation could be required before the towing bill is paid, as per section 2308.553A2. In my view, pre-suit mediation triggered for only one party rather than by mutual agreement, and that could cost up to $1,500 on every tow recovery performed, regardless of whether or not the bill has even been paid. This creates an unreasonable cost to towers and creates an unreasonable barrier to seeking relief from a court. I've been informed that the Southwest Tow Operators absolutely opposes and adamantly opposes that bill, and TTSA has been with it. They've actually supported this bill with a legislator to try and get it to go through. How can that be possible? You can be possibly charged up to $1,500 per day, you individually, by anybody that has a bill over $20,000. You know they're going to do it. What do they have to lose? You've got to pay that. It makes absolutely no sense that you have to go in and pay to justify your bill in a state that is, for the most part, unregulated. It makes no sense. This is setting us up for disaster. And now we have two associations that disagree on the bill, which I don't see how you can possibly support this bill, but it has been by one of the parties, TTSA. And I don't know how or why, but that's just one example. But there's other states that have multiple associations, and these same kind of antics go on. This should not have any place in this industry. We have been struggling to come together and be strong. We all know that there's truth in numbers, and when you have an argument and you have an association representing the majority of the towers in the state, but then the argument comes in, well, wait a minute, there's multiple associations. Well, where do they stand? Well, this one stands here, and this one's on the other side of the room. It doesn't make any sense. This is absolutely ridiculous. I wish industry, please wake up. Let's get together. We all put our pants on the same way every day. We all fight the same common issues. And right now, there's plenty. There's no shortage of issues right now. And especially with profitability and trying to get employees and maintaining your employees. This is, it's ludicrous. It truly is. Amongst the other issues, the other states, and I don't have the time here today to go over all of them, but this here is a prime example. This just happened. So you need to look into this. People that are not in, people that are in multiple association states, I want you to take a long, hard look at each association before you join one. Chances are the one with the larger membership is probably the one you want to be on, but that's rule of thumb. Believe me when I tell you. Make sure you go in there and find out the issues that they're fighting for, where they stand, see that you agree with them, and join that association. If you can't seem to understand either one of them, run for an office. Run for an office and let's get moving here. Why are we still dealing with the same issues repeatedly? Because we have to be our own worst enemies every time. And I'm really sorry to see that, because I love this industry, just like many of you do too. I mean, we're all here because, well, not only is it a living, but we love what we do every single day. You know, and I've been saying that for a long time, but moments like this really discourage me. What I'd like to do is that I want the Southwest Towers who actually work with the Texas Tow Show, let's put together a meeting down there and bring in representatives from all the multiple association states and see if we can't talk this mess out in other states too, besides Texas. We need to get together. We need to be more effective when we fight. We need to say that, yes, all of us towers are on the same page. We all represent the same issues. We want to stop the problems and start serving the public even better than we do now. And we're limited. We're limited many times by the regulations put on us, by these kind of things. I can see now, with this here happening, you can see bills are going to go up. They are obviously going to go up. Is that what everybody wants? I don't think so. I think all the towers want to do is get paid a proper rate for what they're doing. And for the most part, I think almost all of them are there with a proper rate. But now that door is wide open to fight it, because what do you have to lose? You might get something back on it. Well, I don't really understand people. Sometimes it just blows my mind. Well, until the next time, be safe out there. Everyone goes home. Believe me when I tell you, your family needs you more at home now than ever. Times are a little bit different right now. And I'll be looking forward to seeing you in Vegas. You're on the hook.
Join me for the American Towman Showplace in Las Vegas at the South Point Hotel Casino and Spa. Join me for a mega show experience with over 150 industry suppliers exhibiting at the South Point Conference Center.